Welcome to the finals of the Gfinity StarCraft 2 Cup, where we have spawning in the top left position representing Team Liquid.net, defeating Team Nate and WCS finalist Mana. In the semi-finals, he sets up a mirror matchup in the grand finals. It is Liquid Snute. And his opponent spawning in the bottom right position as the red Zerg player. He plays for Samsung and is an absolute ZvZ beast. Can he defeat Snute, though? Ladies and gents, it's Solar. Map number 1 is going to be Coda, arguably normal service resumed. People asking if the finals are best of 5 or if it's still going to be best of 3. To my knowledge, they are best of 3. So unless the players have agreed otherwise, I do believe we're going to see a best of 3 series. We have the spawning pool first coming out from Solar. That's going to be counterbalanced by the hatchery first coming out from Snute. Of course, this isn't an early pool. This is just going to be transitioned straight into a hatch. Also makes Solar just a little bit safer against potential early pools, because after all, this is a 2-player map, and you can't be all too careful. Placing the spawning pool is Snute in an excellent position to prevent Zerglings or other units from running around behind the mineral line. You can see both players doing that. And both players are going to be going for gases instantly off the back of this as well. So near identical builds later on. Gas pool versus pool gas, yada yada yada. Solar, of course, will know that. Both players will know that based on the timings of their natural expansions. Ever so slightly later for Solar, but that's fine. He has the earlier queen. Might mean Snute will find it ever so slightly more difficult to just waltz into the main base with this Overlord, whereas Solar is completely happy to walk straight in. He knows that the spawning pool is not yet complete, and he'll be able to comfortably get a full scout off before moving the Overlord, probably to around about here. And that looks scary. Is that a mono worm? Right. Oh, darn. Sorry, I do wish this cough would go away, but there is only one more series left before I can rest for the evening. Both sides going for Zergling speed, almost identical to the second, guys. So these players, of course, lots of respect for each other. Strictly speaking, this is the Gfinity Cup on Europe, and Snute agreed to play this game on the American server to give Solar a little bit of a better ping. Which is just really nice and really sporting of him as well. He didn't have to say yes to that. That would have given Snute a little tiny advantage. But he has opted to play it as fair as possible against an opponent he respects. Solar, of course, at the moment playing ungodly sociable hours from Korea. I have no doubt that after the end of this best of 3, win or lose, he's going straight to bed. Both sides with the Baneling nests. No floods of Zerglings yet. We're watching that production tab. And whoop, Queen's going for just a little bit of an excursion. Maybe to spot any lingering Zerglings over here in case there was a big attack incoming. One of those Zerglings going to instantly get picked off, and the second one won't even be able to see the ramp. So a good deny of scouting there from Liquid Snute. He's going to be able to move his creep tumors down below the bottom of the ramp. Creep spread has not started yet for Solar. He's got his Baneling nest more towards the front of the base. He's also started his lair inside his main base. He's gone up to 3 gases as opposed to 4. And Snute is opting to go for a quicker third base instead. Now, has this Overlord spotted the third? It has not yet. So Solar's not 100% certain what Snute is doing at the mo. Snute, in the meantime, running away with just a couple of Zerglings in the face of approximately twice as many from Solar, moving out towards the middle of the map. And Queens will successfully deter these Zerglings from doing too much damage towards the third base location in the meantime. Oh, they'll be able to get an Overlord as well. Nice. No one's actually supply blocked just yet, though. So Solar knows exactly what he's up against. The 4th gas has been taken, by the way, and we do indeed have 2 base Mutalisk coming out from the natural expansion. So this, I believe, hasn't been scouted, but it's very, very close to that Overlord, should Snute wish to move in and scout for himself. 12 Zerglings on the way for Snute. It looks like he wants to execute some sort of a timing here. He's moving out, trying to put a lot of pressure on Solar. Neither side has Banelings out in the middle of the map so far. But don't forget the Baneling nests are down, and Banelings are in progress here, primarily for defense from Solar. A couple of initial explosions there. Snute has a couple of offensive Banelings of his own. 3 more here. He's winning the Zergling battle, but he's not necessarily going to be able to get up the ramp. The 3rd base is in progress for Solar. He's going to want to use his Mutalisk. Oh, needs to be careful with those Banelings. Good dodge on the first one. The second one, though, still very, very dangerous. More Banelings being morphed in from Snute. The Zerglings desperately trying to deny that. One offensive Baneling getting a good hit. The second one still needing to get morphed in. If that gets surrounded, actually, that's really, really difficult. Yep, he opts not to do that. And, oh, actually, all 3 of these are Solar, so there you go. Messy all around. A counterattack coming in from Solar. Spots the layer timing here from Snute. He's going to be reasonably pleased because Mutalisks are going to be out on the field. The Spire is complete. The Overlord still has not seen it, but the 3rd base is definitely much, much later. Solar now moving out again across the map to see what Snute's doing. Snute has not scouted the 3rd base yet. It looks like a straight-up Zergling-Baneling fight. Snute, of course, has the 3rd base up and mining. But 8 Mutalisks are about to pop for Solar. And here comes the latest knife fight. Solar confident he'll be able to get those Banelings in time and correctly calls that. He's able to force them to cancel. The 3rd base is definitely up for him now, and we have the Mutalisk flying out across the map. Now this is where Solar tries to take this game by the horns. Ooh, well, that's not really a good first engagement there, but I think the idea was that he had the support from the Zerglings. So many transfuses coming out on these Queens, though, that even with the Zergling assistance, that did not end well for Solar at all. He is down to 5 Mutalisks. Not a Queen was dropped that day. And Snute continuing to put a lot of pressure on at this 3rd base. Oh, managing to get both Banelings. I like that with the initial hits. And these 2 Banelings are definitely going to pop out. So here we go. No, you're not going to be able to surround that in time, mate. Oh, dear. That was a big Baneling explosion. And this base is going to have to at least temporarily be evacuated. That was a nice little bit of attacking there from Snute. He's currently on 49 to 48 workers, so not that much of a difference, to be perfectly honest. Queens and... Wow. We're going for it, people. Queens and Zerglings moving out across the map now, clearing Overlords as well. Supply blocking Solar. I don't think Solar was expecting this. Snute is going up with Spore Crawlers. He's got Infestation Pit behind this. He is not going to be countering Mutas with Mutas. He is going to be countering Mutas with Queens, and an awful lot of them by the looks of things. It looks like Solar is trying to isolate the Queens while the Zerglings are able to provide ground support. But, whoa! And that was a lot of scary detonations on that, guys, and that is enough, actually, using all of those Banelings that Solar was looking to hope to defend against Snute. Don't forget, with the +1 armor upgrade, they didn't all die to 1 Baneling hit as well. It's going to be enough to cost Solar game number 1. Liquid Snute, ladies and gents, goes 1-0 up in this best of 3 in the Gfinity StarCraft Finals.